Welcome to SLTC. Located in Trace City, Colombo for postgraduate students. And Paducah for all other undergraduate programs. SLTC, where dreams become reality. Nestled on a serene 35-acre campus, our university offers a peaceful haven for over 2,500 students to thrive academically and grow as complete, all-round individuals in all aspects of life as responsible citizens. Our campus is not just a place to study, but a place to live. We have a tight-knit student community with a hostel capacity that boasts 800 dorm rooms. Spread out across the campus are 2 canteens which are open all through the day, all coming together to provide students a vibrant, supportive community. We groom our graduates to make a positive impact on society, and we're proud to be ranked 2nd among non-state universities in Sri Lanka and 14th overall. With a remarkable 15:1 student-to-lecturer ratio, personalized attention is at the core of our teaching philosophy. Our majority PhD qualified lecturers bring real-world experience into the classroom, ensuring students learn not just from books, but from the wisdom of professionals. At SLTC, our commitment to excellence is evident across all our faculties. The Faculty of Business Management equips future leaders with the skills to excel in the global market. Our Faculty of Engineering fosters innovation and practical problem-solving skills, preparing students to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. The Faculty of Science lays down robust foundations, honing the curiosity and the thirst for answers in their journey across scientific inquiry and discovery. The Faculty of Computing and IT empowers students to become pioneers in these rapidly evolving fields. At SLTC, our dedicated Faculty of Technology is at the heart of our modern world. University life at SLTC isn't just about textbooks and lecturers either. We offer a vibrant calendar of events, from exhilarating concerts, theater, gatherings, and engaging clubs, to competitive sports activities. We have a long list of talented students who have even achieved national recognition in multiple sports disciplines. We understand that navigating university life can be challenging. That's why our dedicated non-academic teams and supportive staff are available to assist you every step of the way. From academic advisors to career counselors, we are here to ensure your success. You want to achieve it. At SLTC, we also open doors for our students into the international market with transfer options to prestigious foreign universities, ensuring they have every opportunity to pursue their academic journey on a global scale. SLTC, join us and forge your path to a brighter future. Your journey begins here.
Hello, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you who assembled here for the webinar session today. And I hope that you all are doing great. So we are very much delighted to have you all here with us today that we explore a lot of opportunities and experiences that await you at our SLTC Sri Lanka Technology Campus. As you all know, Sri Lanka Technology Campus, the SLTC widely known, is one of the biggest and topmost leading private institutes in Sri Lanka, which is recognized by the Ministry of Education, Higher Education, and Vocational Education as well. So we here at SLTC provide over 25 programs for undergraduates and postgraduates under 5 faculties such as Faculty of Engineering, Technology, Science, Computing and IT, and Business and Management as well. So today the session is all about the Faculty of Technology. So without any further delay, we will just move on to the session of the webinar today. So, and this is the time, and it's my great honor to introduce Ms. Asanka Rathnayake, the lecturer of the Faculty of Technology at SLTC. So, when we talk about Ms. Asanka Rathnayake, she is a respected academic who has contributed significantly to the research and advancement at SLTC. And her dedication and expertise continue to inspire our students and enrich our academic community. Therefore, please join us in warmly welcoming Ms. Asanka Rathnayake. And the floor is yours, Ms. Asanka, now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lakshan. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thank you very much. So, a very good evening to all of you. So, today actually we are going to talk about something kind of environmental thing. Actually, I think today this moment is very high moment to talk about the environment, sustainability, and living beings and non-living beings, our interaction. Because as a country today at this moment, we are suffering from the global climate change and some environmental disasters as well. So we know these are actually, we can't actually tell these things are natural disasters because these are some consequences of anthropogenic activities. So what we have given to the environment is giving back to us. So sometimes with some anthropogenic activities, with these concrete buildings and with our industrial activities, we are giving something to the environment and environment is giving back to us. So people, as all living beings, so not only human beings, all living beings are suffering with these catastrophes. So as human beings, what can we do at this moment? So we are talking about these natural disasters and all those things, but we can't stop our development. We have to go process with the industrial development as well. So what we are talking about, the sustainability concept, we have to go through this development, but also we have to conserve our environment. So that is our concept, sustainability. So with the concept of sustainability, I think we can deal with the environment with more harmonic manner. So because environment is always changing, so it's we can't control it actually. We are taking all resources for our all day-to-day activities and all the things, even the oxygen we all get all the things from the environment, no? So we can't control the environment. So, but the thing is, what we are doing to the environment, actually now environment uh, can't actually bear up anthropogenic activities. We are disposing our waste to the environment, and we are discharging wastewater to the environment, and we are dispersing many emissions to the atmosphere. So at some moment, environment can't endure up all these activities. So with this condition, as human beings and a part of people are thinking about sustainability. So I think this is a high time to talk about sustainability. So today what we are going to talk about, this is so related to the environment and these kind of natural disasters because today we are talking beyond carbon. So when we are talking about the environment, actually the carbon dioxide, the greenhouse gas emissions, how much we are emitting to the environment, how much we are emitting carbon dioxide to the environment, we are talking about GHG emissions, greenhouse gas emissions. So carbon dioxide is the main greenhouse gas emitting to the environment. So, but we are only talking about carbon when we are talking about the environment. So here today we are talking beyond carbon. So beyond carbon, what we can talk actually. So day-to-day, all the day-to-day activities, we are using so many products. As an example, at this moment, we are using our laptops. We are using our phone chargers, phones. No, we are using our pens. So there are so many electronic devices. In addition to electronic devices, in our day-to-day activities, actually, we are using so many other products as well. Wood, and other furnitures and other infrastructures and other building materials and so many materials we are using. So do you know there is a hidden story inside these materials or inside these products? So may I share my presentation today? So please tell me someone, can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So beyond carbon, the life cycle assessment to decode a product's true environmental footprint. Actually, today we are going to talk about any product that you are using in your day-to-day activities. Actually, that means any product for your washing purpose, for your studying purpose, for any kind of purpose, you are using a product. We can't live without any product, no? So, there is a story. Every product has a story. So what is this life cycle assessment? What we are doing in this life cycle assessment? Life cycle assessment actually help us to read this story. So you are only read the surface of your product, no? What do you know about your laptop? You just know that you can log in, you can do presentations, you are doing Word, and you are doing programming and so many things you can do in your laptop. But do you know there is a hidden story inside your laptop? So you have a pen. You are writing in a paper by using a pen. What do you see? In surface, you see, oh, this is pens are inside the pen. I can write it. So there are so many purposes from my pen. But there is a hidden story. Do you know how much raw materials, how much water, how much energy have been used to produce your product or manufacturing your product? So what we are doing in the life cycle assessment, every product has a story. We are actually reading that story there. So how we are going to read in that story in the product? So each and every process in the story, how it can impact to the environment. That is the story. That is hidden story. We can't see it in the surface manner. So, in the story, there are so many raw materials. That is why I have said this is the high moment to talk about the environment. For what you are using today, now at this moment, all the things, all the raw materials have been extracted from the environment. So sometimes metals, sometimes sand, sometimes other chemicals or cement or something, any kind of raw material, water or trees, leaves, stones, like that. There are so many raw materials in the environment. So you are using these raw materials to product manufacturing. So at the manufacturing part, in the factory, you are manufacturing, there are so many steps going in there. And finally, you are taking this product to the factory out. And then it is distributing and us and what we are playing in this story, we are the customers in this story. So we are using these products and again we are disposing that product to the environment. So see how any product can interact with the environment at the raw material extraction and at the manufacturing process and in the use phase, and after usage we are just dispose it to the environment. So but I think you have know about recycling. Sometimes you can recycle, reuse your product, and ultimately you are disposing it to a landfill. So this is the story behind your product, but there are so many unique processes, hidden stories inside a product. So today what we are going to do is how we are going to read this story behind a product. So do you know, as an example, I take a t-shirt, a cotton t-shirt. Usually we are choosing cotton for our comfort. No, the cotton material is very comforting for us. So have you ever think about your cotton t-shirt? Where did the cotton come from? Where did the cotton come from? It is not coming from a factory or any place. We are actually growing cotton in farms, no, from cotton. So we are taking cotton from the environment. So do you know how much water have been used in the manufacturing process? How much energy, the current have been used to product that manufacturing process? And what happens when it's thrown away after usage phase, when you use or wear this cotton shirt around few times and then you think the lifetime of the cotton shirt is now over, so I have to throw it away. So you are disposing it to a garbage truck, and then for where you are throwing. So you don't know, the local authorities taking your old stuff and they are actually keeping the waste in their own place. Do you know what happens to your waste after you disposing that to the environment? So these are hidden stories that we don't know, but sometimes with our activities, environment are telling their stories like this catastrophe manner. So you know, for a one cotton t-shirt, it is taking around 2,700 liters of water. And do you know, I think you have heard about microplastics. So you know, the microplastic is a huge disaster. Nowadays, I think we can get we can get another slot for talk about microplastics. So these plastics we can't even see. It is not visible for our naked eye. So we don't know where microplastics are. You know, there are some synthetic fibers in your t-shirts, in your clothes. These microfibers can contaminate water bodies, can contaminate air, and can contaminate your soil. We don't know where it will be ends up. So microplastic can be in your lung, can be in your heart, can be in your skin, and can be in your foodway. So these are hidden stories inside the environment and our connection. So do you know how much this kind of t-shirt polluting water? So chemicals are used into product manufacturing, and there are so many dyes, you know. You are actually wearing different colors of clothes, no? So actually that is a passion. It is, there is no wrong in it, but we are using so many dyes in there when we are wearing so many colorful t-shirts or colorful wear. So in that case, we are actually causing for water pollution severely. So up to 8,000 chemicals are using in dyeing, printing, and finishing processes. So These are the hidden secrets. There are many secrets, but in the surface manner, what we are seeing, there is a beautiful t-shirt that we can wear it, and it is very fashionable. So that is the surface story. But do you know there is a hidden story? So what we are doing in life cycle assessment, actually life cycle assessment is a totally scientific method. It measuring a product's total environmental impact from birth to death. Do you know, as humans, we have a life cycle, no? From birth to death. One day we come to we came to the world from our birth, but one day we have to go, we have to end up with our life, no, with the death. So that means we have a life cycle from cradle to grave. So like that, for a product as well, there is a life cycle from cradle to gate. So in life cycle assessment, actually what we are finding, the carbon footprint, water use, energy use, waste and pollution, all those things in the each phase of the life cycle of a product. So shall we discuss more about what are those main stages of a life cycle of a product? So from cradle to grave, the first stage is the birth is materials are acquiring and necessary pre-processing occurs. Do you know, for a cotton t-shirt, we have to cultivate cotton from our farms. No? So as an that is for the cotton t-shirt. So think for a laptop or any electronic devices. So what are the raw materials you are using for an electronic device? For a laptop or for a hand phone or for a television or for another a tablet. So there are so many heavy metals, plastics, um, plastics and some chemicals we are extracting from the environment. No, so there is an extraction process. So in the mining processes also, we are mining so many minerals for production of many products. So at that process as well, we are actually polluting the environment. So, you know, some countries, some big countries, there are some coal mines. It takes around hundreds and thousands of acres to do mining process. So think how the extent of environmental pollution can happen. So from the raw material extraction to the grave, from the raw material extraction to the final disposal of a product, there is an environmental impact. When we are talking about environmental impact, we are talking actually for the pollution for the water, pollution for the air, pollution for the land. So there are three types of environmental impacts that can happen from a product cradle to grave life cycle. So you know, cradle to grave, there are life cycle stages. First one is raw material acquisition, raw material exploitation, and second one is manufacturing and production processes. What we are doing in the factory, we are exploiting the raw material and bring it to the factory gate. And inside the factory, what we are doing the product manufacturing, no? And then we are storing and ready for the distribution. And we are distributing it to the market, where customer can meet their requirements, and customer is buying those products, and customer is using usage phase, and then after reaches its end of life, we are finally disposing it. Sometimes we are reusing it for another purpose, or sometimes we can recycle it for another reason. So, as I said, we are always talking about carbon, the carbon dioxide emission, greenhouse gas emission. So, we are only talking about global warming and climate change. But, you know, people think about only carbon dioxide emissions. But in life cycle assessment, the most important thing in life cycle assessment is we are talking about not only carbon. We are not talking about only carbon. We are talking about water pollution, water depletion, toxic chemicals, how it can ultimately affect to the environment and human health as well, and soil pollution, and how it ultimately ends up with the groundwater pollution and ecosystem damages. Ecosystem means natural ecosystem, the waterfalls, natural streams, forest ecosystem, ocean ecosystem, and as well as other all ecosystems, how these ecotoxicity can be happen, and resource consumption as well. So resource consumption means we are taking so many resources from the environment as the raw material. So I want to know about this life cycle assessment. Is a sustainability tool or not? So the most trending word in the world is sustainability, no? So sustainable development goals, millennium development goals, sustainable development goal, and sustainable consumption and production. There are so many things related the word with sustainability. No, do you know what do you mean by sustainability? Sustainability is actually we are using our resources where it is economically viable, socially viable, and environmentally viable, and we are using maximum usage from that resources for the present generation, and we are saving it for our future generation as well. That is the simple definition of sustainability. But when we comes to the life cycle assessment, actually life cycle assessment not a sustainability tool. This is an environmental tool. Sustainability means we have to take care of the economic concept as well, and the social concept as well, and the environmental aspect as well. But here we are not talking about social and economical aspects, but we are talking here about environmental aspects. So this life cycle assessment is an environmental tool, scientific database tool, and totally rely on scientific data and measuring environmental footprint of a product. So as I said, when it comes to the concept of sustainability, we can do this life cycle assessment in a sustainable manner. So we are saying we are defining it as sustainability life cycle assessment. But the life cycle, if we referring LCA or life cycle assessment, we are only considering towards the environmental impacts. So if we are talking about the economical viability of a product, that is life cycle costing or a cost benefit analysis. If we are talking about the social aspect of the product, that is social life cycle assessment. So separately, we can conduct social life cycle assessment, life cycling costing assessment, and life cycle assessment. So if you want to do these three in together, we are defining it as sustainability life cycle assessment. But today webinar, we are only focusing towards the life cycle assessment, that the true story, the environmental story, the hidden story lying inside a product. So before go to the theory or the subject, I want you to know what would your environmental choice as a wrapping material. Is it a plastic wrap or paperboard? So with the audience, when I'm doing lectures and webinars, when I'm asking this question from my students, actually they are saying, I go for paperboard. I'm asking what is the reason for going for paperboard, for wrapping material rather than going for plastic wrap. So instantly they are saying the paperboard or papers are environmental friendly. But I'm asking, why are you saying that is environmental friendly? They are saying it is degrading, that is biodegradable. Plastic is not biodegradable. It lasts in the environment around hundreds of years. Yeah, that is true. That is theoretically or literally that is true. What we have learned throughout our life, the biodegradable materials are good, but non-biodegradable materials are not good, not healthy for the environment. So after this webinar, you can't say any material or any product, this is eco-friendly material, this is environmental friendly material, without doing a life cycle assessment for a particular product. We can't say actually this is environmental friendly or not. As I said, always people are trying to look the surface, no? So usually we are saying we are not looking inside the book. We are judging the book by seeing its book cover, no? That is true. For any kind of product, we are judging that product by looking its cover, no? So in the life cycle assessment, when you comes with the life cycle thinking, you can't say the paper board or paper wrap is more environmental friendly than a plastic wrap. Sometimes after doing the environmental life cycle assessment, that plastic wrap can be more environmental friendly, because sometimes some wraps can be reused or recycled, produce another products. Like that, there can be so many effects. So sometimes rather than producing a product in a country, sometimes it is more economically viable. It is importing from another country. That is a story, like that story is same as this story. So we can't say by seeing its surface or book cover, this is environmental friendly. So after this webinar, I want you to know that, and I'm very happy to know that if you are a thinkers of life cycle, you have the thinking mind about life cycle thinking. So as I said, product has a life cycle. So consecutive and interlinked stages of a product, from raw material acquisition or generation from natural resources to final disposal. So you know there are life cycle stages, including raw material extraction, design and production, that means manufacturing, and transportation or delivery, usage faced by the customer, and end of life treatment or final disposal. So these life cycle stages, with the most important thing is, when you are thinking about a life cycle assessment of a particular product, you have to think about what are the inputs and what are the outputs. So as obvious, you know, the raw materials and energy. As raw materials, you can use chemicals. It may be some minerals. It may be some dyes. Like that, there can be different the sort of raw materials. And energy, we can use the electricity as energy, or green energy as energy, or biomass, steam from the biomass energy. So likewise, there can be so many inputs, and there can be so many outputs from raw material to the raw material extraction to the waste management. So in each stage of a product, outputs are there. There are atmospheric emissions, wastewater, solid waste, energy loss, byproducts, other releases. So this is a place where I wanted to talk. I wanted to link the condition of this moment. So you know that as a country today, at this moment, we are actually facing a catastrophic condition today, no, with this environmental condition. So do you know these things happening because of the outputs of our products manufacturing and our day-to-day life activities? So you know, each and every step we are keeping in this earth, we are making some footprint to the environment. That footprint can be atmospheric emission, can be wastewater, can be solid waste, can be energy loss, or can be byproduct or any other release. So you know, environment cannot bear up our footprints anymore. So it will be violent when we are in too much. So environment can't filter people. Environment can't filter any other non-living things and living things. Environment give the result as a overall. So this is the place that I wanted to say that each and every process, you know, there are huge industrial processes taking place in our country as well. In the developed countries, you know, from these industries, we are actually emitting and discharging and disposing so many emissions, wastewater and solid waste to the environment. You know, our old drains are packed with our solid waste. Do you know, you go in any main road in our country, in rural areas as well nowadays, our drainage pathways are blocked, no? So flooding is so normal when high raining is coming. If our earth can't, if our soil can't endure that raining, so can't infiltrate that water to the earth because all the places are concreted. No, there are concrete pavements. Our drainage systems are already blocked, and so many wetlands have been reclaimed for building constructions. The Colombo city, the first Asian Ramsar accredited city. You know, there are so many wetlands. Diyata, Diyamannaoya, Bere Lake, and there are so many natural wetlands in the Colombo city as well. But do you know, now the wetland percentage is decreasing because people are reclaiming this land for house constructions and industries constructs for building constructions. So where this water can be filled, the wetlands are there to absorb water from the rain, no? So there are no places to collect this water from the rain. So finally it is end up with floods, no? So when we goes to the hilly area, there are so many building constructions. So what we are for this building construction, what we are using these kind of products, no? Indirectly and directly, using these kind of products impacting to the environment. In hilly areas, we are actually steep slopes. We are actually making hotels, houses, and other buildings, commercial buildings there. So the soil layer can't endure the weight of these kind of buildings. So finally, it ends up with the soil erosion and big landslides and these kind of catastrophes. So the weather conditions, the unpredictable weather conditions are normal for the environment because environment means always changing. When unpredictable weather conditions are coming, our anthropogenic activities are worsen the situation. That is the thing. So in Colombo area, especially in Gampaha, Colombo, Kaduwala area, we are facing flooding because of the land reclamation, the wetland reclamation. So how this is connecting to this? So for each and every construction, each and every transportation works, for each and every vehicle, each and every product we are using, from using these kind of products, no, cement and these electronic devices and all these. What we are doing all the things for the betterments of the human beings. We are not thinking about the betterment of the world, betterment of the earth, all human beings and all living and non-living beings, no? So we are only thinking about the betterment of human works. So, but the concept of the sustainability, people have actually, I'm a little bit happy because now this is a trending phenomena, sustainability. At least people have identified that we need to go for this development in a sustainable manner. So that is why these kind of new technologies have been arised, like life cycle assessments, carbon footprint assessments, water footprint measurement assessments, and also cleaner production techniques. So I'm so happy now people are moving towards the sustainability, but still we are suffering, not us, but our future generation will suffer more than us because of this kind of activities. So the life cycle assessment, it is a structured, internationally standardized method and management tool. So we are accounting here products full life cycle. So, if you are doing a thing, we have to do it in a standard. So, when it comes to the quality standards, ISO 14,000, ISO 90,000, you already aware about these kind of standards. So when we are doing life cycle assessment, we have to follow up the standard ISO 14044. So this is the ISO family for for conducting life cycle assessment. So 14040 describes principle and framework for life cycle assessment, and this specifies guidelines for life cycle assessment. So life cycle assessment we can't conduct as we wish. We have to follow up the ISO standards. So I think you already have heard about carbon footprints. So there is a specific standard for that. And let's go to the LCA methodology. So I'm going to actually, when we are talking about the LCA methodology, we can't actually end up within a small webinar series. We have to go for series. But here I'm going to describe LCA methodology in a short manner. Actually, there are four phases in an LCA methodology: goal and scope, life cycle inventory, life cycle impact assessment, and interpretation. So phase one, goal and scope. For the goal and scope, for doing a life cycle assessment for a product, we have to have a goal and scope. That means we have to have an objective. There need to be an objective. Why we are doing this life cycle assessment? There should be an objective, okay? So there should be a target audience. Sometimes we can comparison. The objective or goal can be a comparison. That means, as I said previously, the paper, cardboard, or plastic wrap. What is the most environmental friendly material? So for that purpose, we can use life cycle assessment. And scope. What is the scope? This is most important, the system boundary. Sometimes we can't do the life cycle assessment from cradle to grave because of data insufficient data, or lack of knowledge, or lack of technical procedures. So sometimes we have to limit our system boundary. So in that case, we can do life cycle assessment for cradle to gate, gate to gate, gate to grave. Like that, we can define our system boundary. So that is the scope. And this scope should include unit processes. In the product manufacturing process in an industry, as an example, cotton shirt, if you import the cotton fabric or cotton to our country, in the factory, what you are doing, you are making yarns, cotton yarns, and you are then you are getting together these yarns and you are knitting these yarns and making the fabric. And then you are washing that fabric. After washing, you are dyeing that fabric. After dyeing, the dyeing fabric is then you are cutting that fabric. After cutting that fabric, you are sewing that fabric. So you are finally finishing the cotton short. There are so many unit processes. You have to identify what are the unit processes through your product flow. So functional unit is very important. You have to have a functional unit when you are doing a life cycle assessment. As an example, if you are doing a life cycle assessment for a cotton shirt, in a practical scenario, when you go to the factory, you can't get the data for one cotton shirt because there is a batch of cotton shirts. There can be around 100 of cotton shirts for a batch, or 1,000 of cotton shirts per batch. So in that case, you have to choose one functional unit there. That means sometimes one batch of cotton shirts. There can be 100 or 500 cotton shirts. So your functional unit can be 500 cotton shirts. So in that case, as an example, for glasses or PET bottles, you can get as functional unit 1 kilogram glass or 1 kilogram PET bottles. Like that, your functional unit can be varied with your intended application. So this is the system boundary. As I say, you can choose your system boundary from cradle to grave, cradle to gate, gate to gate, and gate to grave. So resources are coming. This is the exploitation, preparation, and then this is the factory. At factory, the product manufacturing is there. The out of the gate, it is distributed into the markets and use phase and disposal. And finally, the emission. So we have to find the system boundary. So the phase 2 is life cycle inventory. Life cycle inventory means you have to find out what are the energy inputs, what are the raw material inputs, what are the physical inputs and co-products, what are you releasing to the air, what are you releasing to the water, and what are you releasing to the soil. So this is the life cycle inventory. So imagine tracking every input and every output. So actually the science of life cycle assessment is actually very marvelous thing, because you are going through one unit process to another unit process. You are going through all the unit processes and you are getting know at this stage what you are doing to your product. At this stage what you are doing, what are the inputs, what are the outputs. So this is actually very interesting and exciting subject, this life cycle assessment. You are going to including energy, raw materials, chemical, transportation, waste. Finally, what you are going to do? By getting these inputs and outputs, you are finding what is the environmental impact through your product, through your whole life cycle. That is the important. We are not looking the surface. So data and information types, you can take specific data and generic data. Specific data at the each unit process you can collect, like electricity data, volumes of water use, the amount of chemical usage, and generic data you can take in from some databases. So for this conduct life cycle assessment, we have some LCA softwares. You know, nowadays the science is more trending for software basis projects. No, so this is something software basis thing, life cycle assessment. There are different types of softwares that we can use in life cycle assessment. SimaPro, OpenLCA, Gabi, Ubuntu. So in here, SimaPro, Gabi, Ubuntu, one click, they're actually commercialized one. We have to pay and we have to purchase these softwares. But OpenLCA is not that is a free open software that you can download it from the website, it from the Google. OpenLCA. With this OpenLCA, you can conduct a life cycle assessment. So this is an example for life cycle inventory. So final product is rubber product. Think rubber slipper. For a rubber slipper, you have to make the rubber, no? So the first rubber plantation, you are taking your raw materials there. These are the inputs, and taping and rubber latex transport, and the raw rubber processing at the factory, manufacturing and product transport, and finally rubber products manufacturing and use and disposal. So you can see here there are many inputs in each unit process and there are many outputs in each unit processes. So this is a process flow diagram for cotton fabric. These are some examples I have taken for you to get to know about what is this life cycle, what is this process flow diagram, what is these unit processes. For dyed fabric, actually, for dyed fabric, cotton yarn taking, storing, knitting, then gauge is making, transporting it, then dyeing it, splitting, relax drying, compacting. Finally, it comes a dyed fabric to make your t-shirt, to make your skirt, to make your blouse. So dyeing as a one unit process, there are so many sub-unit processes there can be. For in the dyeing unit process, gauging, washing, bleaching, neutralization. In that case also, we are taking what are the inputs, what are the outputs. So the life cycle impact assessment, the third phase. The third phase, this is very important. The third phase, the impact assessment. This is the where we are doing the impact assessment. So in that case, we have to select our impact categories. So these are the impact categories. So this diagram shows you what we are talking here today beyond carbon. We are not talking only about global warming, only about climate change, but we are talking here about acidification, eutrophication, fossil fuel depletion, indoor air quality, habitat alteration, water intake, criteria are pollutants. Human health as well, not only the environment. We are talking in life cycle assessment. We can actually, after doing a life cycle assessment for a product, we can tell how this product can impact for human health as well through its life cycle, through its manufacturing process, smog, ozone depletion, ecological toxicity. So these are the main impact categories. So global warming potential, freshwater aquatic ecotoxicity, human toxicity potential, marine aquatic ecotoxicity, terrestrial ecotoxicity, and all those things. So you can see here impact categories, they are considering at the midpoints, but it's damaging at the end point. No, you know, the impact categories, these are the impact categories. Finally, it ends up with the impacting for human health, resource depletion, and entire ecosystem quality. So that is why this life cycle assessment is so marvelous. So finally, ultimately, we can say this product can impact to the environment this much. With climate change, with resource depletion, with land use, with water use, like that. In a way of impact categories, we can say ultimately it can ecotoxic to our human health and for the environment as well. So, you know, this is a little bit extra thing to add for the life cycle assessment. The carbon footprint assessment we are doing for products, carbon footprint, how much carbon dioxide we are emitting to the environment through a product life cycle. So there is a standard for carbon footprint as well, the ISO 14067. So in here, so goal and scope definition, inventory and life cycle impact assessment, how this product can be impacting to the climate change. So carbon footprint is the one impact category, the climate change in a life cycle assessment. That is only one part of life cycle assessment. Carbon footprint assessment is one part of life cycle assessment. In addition to carbon footprint or climate change impact category, it is giving other all impact categories there. So finally, we are interpreting our data. How we are interpreting? This product is impacting to the ecotoxicity, impacting to the eutrophication, impacting to the water pollution, impacting to the resource depletion at this much. We are giving it in the percentage wise. So how this LCA help us to make a better choices? Choose green materials, reduce manufacturing energy, improve our product design, reduce waste, and enable recycling and support sustainability certification as well. So when we are doing this life cycle assessment for product development, actually we can go for many environmental friendly product developments through life cycle assessment. So this would be more beneficial for businesses as well. They can actually use this as a marketing tool. How much your product is sustainable. No, so sometimes, you know, there are many customers who are using products less violent to animal. That means the animal testing is not going through these products. Like that, there can be customers, the less environmentally impacts products, no? So this life cycle assessment can be more beneficial for as a marketing tool. So cradle to grave life cycle assessment and analyzing sample of products following quality standards, monitoring and measuring the product's emissions, and redefine goal and scopes, compare to different products. Actually, sometimes this is very important. Compare to different products. Sometimes some product can be made by a different material. Some product can be made by a different another kind of material. So we can find out what is the most viable and environmental friendly material for that product. So outcome is useful for making environmental friendly decisions. So this life cycle thinking is very important, because in life cycle assessment, our thinking is not only about not only about the surface thinking. We are going through its life cycle stages. Life cycle thinking is that we are cumulative environmental impacts. There are cumulative environmental impacts from a product, and we are taking all stages of the life cycle. So this thinking avoids shifting problems and generate value and benefits for businesses. As an example, as I said, improved brand value. Some brands, actually, the sustainable brands are high cost. Do you know why? Because the cheaper ways can easily pollute the environment. But when when we want a quality product, that minimizing environmental impact means it is costly. So, that is why more sustainable products are expensive. So, new ways of marketing opportunities for improvement. So there are so many application areas. I think you have already heard about some environmental labels and declaration. For any kind of product, you have a label. What is inside the label? The expiry date, ingredients, and what are the expiry dates and ingredients and other things. In a label, the name and its quality and all the things are included in the label. So in eco label, what is inside that? How much this product have been impacted to the environment. So life cycle assessment is so crucial to have eco labeling. So still eco labeling is not popular in Sri Lanka, but in developed countries, there are eco labels for products. Those people are actually purchasing their products by looking at the eco labeling. And environmental communication and verification and validation of greenhouse gas emissions. You know what are the benefits for businesses and students? For companies, cost reduction, better brand reputation, compliance with laws, stronger global competitiveness. For students, there are so many future career opportunities. We are actually facing so many environmental challenges these days. In future, more challenges we have to face. So skills for sustainability jobs you have to have, ability to drive positive change. So the life cycle assessment is not a mandatory legal tool in Sri Lanka, but do you know, when we are exporting our products to other countries, especially Europe, USA, and Canada, they are asking about, what about the life cycle assessment of your product? After seeing the life cycle assessment, they are purchasing our products, especially textile and apparel products in our country. So that is why we have to do life cycle assessments. So career in LC and sustainability, there are more career opportunities will be opening in near future. Sustainability analyst, LCA analyst, environmental consultants, carbon auditor, ESG data analyst, product life cycle engineers. So like that, there are more careers will be still nowadays also these career opportunities are opening, and more opportunities will be open in near future. So finally, environmental impacts has to be addressed over the life cycle of a product, and this is the foundation tool that provides the basis for advanced tool, and this is the tools are most useful proactive environmental management tools for future. So every product has an environmental footprint. In life cycle assessment, we are measuring that environmental footprint, and LCA is the tool that help us reveal it and improve it. So beyond carbon lies the full story of sustainability. So this short time webinar series not to talk the whole story about the life cycle assessment, but I wanted to give you some brief summary about this new technology. The life cycle assessment is beyond carbon. We have actually passed the carbon footprints and GHG emissions, GHG verifications, and all those stuff. Now we are at a stage, life cycle assessments, life cycle thinking. This is a new technology, new innovations in sustainability, in environmental management. So I wanted to give some brief idea about what is this life cycle thinking and what is this life cycle assessment for a product. Throughout the all stages of that product, we are measuring the environmental footprint, how it can be impact to the every stages of the environment. That means for soil, for water, and for the environment. So these are the references that I have used in the presentation. So I think you have got something about life cycle assessment. This is a new technology for all of us. So if you are willing to learn about these things, if you are inspired about the nature, the environment, the sustainability, how you can development of a product in a eco-friendly manner. These are new trending topics all over the world. You have so many higher studies opportunities in sustainability, in life cycle assessment, in master opportunities, and PhD opportunities. And there are so many projects are linked with the UN, United Nations Environmental Program, UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development. They are so conducting so many projects related to the environment. So this is actually passionate area to learn. And if you want to live, if you want to, actually my passionate is regarding the sustainability. So what I'm doing in my job as well, the sustainability. So if you need to go through this sustainable path, so join us. So if you need more information related to sustainability, we can help you. So I think you have got something regarding the life cycle assessment. And thank you very much for coming for this webinar with this heavy rainfall and this undesirable weather conditions. So thank you very much. So if there are any questions, I'm willing here to answer you. Thank you very much. So Lakshan, the platform is over to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Asanka Rathnayake. That was a wonderful session with so much detailed information. And I hope that all of you got a very good knowledge and a clarification about the session today. So we'll just wait for some time whether we get any kind of questions raised by the attendants today.
If you can't ask the question, you can drop message to the chat box as well.
So yeah, that's it from the session for today. And okay, fine. So once again, thank you so much, Ms. Asanka, for that wonderful speech. And thank you so much, all the attendees today who assembled here for the webinar session today. So if you guys want to know more about this, this technology webinars and also the degree programs available at SLTC, please feel free to contact us through our hotline, our website, and also the social media platforms. So which are placed on the screen now. So is that it's visible for everyone. So once again, guys, thank you so much for the attendance today and have a good night. Thank you so much.